What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be starting a song from scratch. I've gotten a handful of questions over a few videos just asking how I actually get a song started. You know, you see me when I'm a little more deep in the weeds, you know, working on a song or already with a client kind of producing it out. The question I get a lot is like, where does the song actually start? I host a lot of songwriting sessions, whether that's for my own projects or clients that I'm helping produce for. And so a lot of times I'll be kind of the landing space. So usually that means I'm the track guy, I'm the guy that's sitting at the computer, and then also just kind of like steering the ship as far as like what sounds we want to pull in or what's inspiring us or anything like that. And so I just thought this could be helpful to see, you know, what do I do if I have a songwriting session happening this afternoon? What would I actually do to get started on a song? So a lot of times I'll just give myself like a 30-minute budget of time that I just want to like get something that feels inspiring and kind of gets the creative juices flowing. Just kind of building some simple piece of music that we could kind of top line over. If you don't know what top lining is, basically it's just where there's a piece of music, and then whether you're by yourself or with a group, you can kind of just craft melodies and lyrics over top of a pre-decided piece of music. As kind of the host of Songwrites or the track guy in a session, I will create something that feels like the lane that the artist or my own projects typically would want to go in. So I just thought it'd be fun with no planning at all, start one of those from scratch. If you're curious on how you want to go about that for yourself, or if you're hosting a songwrite, hopefully this will be helpful for you. But yeah, let's just pivot over and we'll get into it. So as you can see, just a literal blank session in front of me. And I'm gonna treat this as if it's a normal day of work and, you know, a half hour from now, the songwrite's gonna start. And so I just wanna get something quick and inspiring, just laid down in Pro Tools. So a lot of times what I'll do is, I won't go absolutely insane with production direction, but I'll just want like some vague layers that draw some sort of inspiration, given like whatever vibe we want to go for. And so for me, I'll usually just build out like a verse and a chorus. I won't go insane with like a ton of chord changes yet. A lot of times the verse and chorus might even just be the same chords until, you know, the melodies would lead us otherwise. Yeah, I'm gonna treat this like it's for my band, the Paper Brigade. I know for us, we typically lean into pop, upbeat type stuff. And so I'll probably start there. And I know for me, since I'm the vocalist, I like typically enjoy B flat, and so easy of a place as any to start from. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull in some session data in Pro Tools. I'm just gonna get some of my like essentials. Gonna get my click channel, some effects, my master bus. Go ahead and pull my instrument buses in as well, just because I know I'll do that eventually anyways. So I'll pull my drum bus, keys bus, guitar bus. Yeah, so that can be like a starting point at least. So now that we've got like some of my essentials in here, I maybe just want to figure out a tempo. I know with Paper Brigade, a lot of our songs just kind of lean pop upbeat. And so I'm just gonna like tap out something that feels fun on my tempo here. Sweet, 109 it is. So we'll start there today. Just literally about a half hour ago, I had this idea on how to build this kind of like ambient patty loopy layer. And so I'm gonna try that. I don't know that it'll work or how it'll turn out, but just a while ago, I bought some pedal steel samples. And I just thought maybe doing like a hard pan left and right, just doing weird stuff to them, and maybe like a sequencer or something could just be like a fun layer to kind of start building over. So I'm just gonna pull in like random layers from this pack. And I can link that pack below if you're interested in snagging that. Let's see, so I'm around 109. Let's go with this 102 tempo and just maybe scan a couple of them. And so right now I'm just kind of looking for like vague ambient kind of layers, and I don't want like a ton of movement. So we'll just kind of keep scrolling. So there's one. I'm just gonna find one that I think might work with that, but definitely some trial and error. So I actually really like the front half of that, but I don't like the back half, so I'm gonna keep scrolling for maybe something else. Sweet, I'm gonna pull that one in. And I thought it would be fun to maybe reverse these and then just throw some like weird, wacky thing on it with some processing. So we're just gonna try that out. So I'm gonna use all three of those and kind of use them all as like one unit of sorts. So I'm gonna throw all those together just like through a bus and then mess with the bus as a whole instead of each of these individually. So I'm gonna throw those into a new little bus, call that pedal bus. Sweet, and I'm just gonna throw like a little LFO type thing on here just to see if that's a vibe. I think it will be. This is just the Slate Digital Submerge. So it's definitely cool. I feel like the back half kind of gets like almost too weird. So I might just use the cool stuff that was happening on that front half and just make it more of like a shorter loop. Let's see how those feel. So that's honestly kind of cool to me. So I'm gonna throw a few more things on it. I'm gonna do like a reverb before the LFO, and I'll show you why here in a second. So I'm gonna put kind of a long reverb on that just to see how that feels. Go pretty heavy on the mix, do 50%. And I'm gonna do that before the LFO, so that way the reverb is also getting that duck. Because if we did that after the LFO, you could hear, it wouldn't give us sharp of cutoffs and stuff. Versus before. Cool, so I just kind of want to like messy those up a little bit. I'm gonna throw some J37 on it. Or if you have the RCA20, you could use that as well. So that feels really cool to me. We'll do one more thing. I'm gonna throw a little tremolator on it. You could probably use anything for this, but I use the Sound Toys. Yeah, that feels pretty sweet. So I'm gonna put all those back in sequence and then throw just a little EQ on the end just to kind of clean up some of that nasally mid-range that I'm not loving. Yeah, so that honestly feels pretty cool. I'm just gonna rename these real quick so I can stay organized. Just gonna call these pedal 1, 2, and 3. I think it'd be fun to get kind of like a break beat sort of thing. And I honestly just kind of had that idea like as I was building that. I was like, oh, with the way that's kind of pumping, like kind of a busier, just could be like really fun. So we're just gonna scan splice because we're not getting final layers right now. We are just trying to make a start for the song right that is hypothetically about to happen. Change my tempos around just to kind of narrow the search here. Kind of fun. I feel like the sample by itself feels like a little basic, so I'll probably do some things to it to just like make it feel somewhat unique. I'm just gonna drop that into Pro Tools. If you work in Pro Tools and don't know this, I'm about to change your life. Right up here, or this will typically just be on standard, and that's just kind of like a drag to cut kind of tool. But you just right click, go to TCE, and then it becomes a time stretcher. So you can just super easily match this to your grid, even if the tempo is not exactly your tempo. So it's kind of a fun nugget. Yeah, but let's hear these together and just kind of like see what happened. I don't know if they'll work at all, but. So I honestly kind of like parts of it and don't like parts of it. I like the like top end percussive-y stuff, but I don't love the like kick and snare sounds. So I might keep cruising. Yeah, that's honestly perfect. Because I want to build my own bottom end, I think. But I just kind of wanted something fun in that top end. Go back up here, TCE. Stretch that little guy out. Yeah, I think that's sweet. I might just do a little messing with it just to kind of get it more in the lane. So I'm just going to use the Pro Q3 and roll off some top and bottom and make it just a little more narrow with where it's sitting frequency-wise. It's pretty cool. Just going to throw in a little saturation just to give it some crunch, and then I'm going to do this cool thing with the transient designer. That feels sweet. And then this is a waves plugin. I'm just going to pull in this thing called Smack Attack. And this will basically just carve off the front or the back of your transients, just kind of give it like more of a staccato feel, or you can take away some of the harsh transients if you want to do that. Yeah, so you can see how that like totally tightened up what was happening there. So let's hear all that together now. Yeah, that honestly feels really cool. So I'm gonna find like just a kick and a snare and probably leave it at that for like the drums for now, because again, we're not trying to go absolutely crazy right now. So I'm gonna find a fun little kick snare sample that I think will fit the vibe. That one feels pretty cool. Just definitely going on gut instincts here and not like super overthinking these sounds or anything. So that kind of vintage tight thing feels pretty cool to me. I'm gonna pull that in. So I'm just gonna build a little kick snare pattern that kind of matches what this loop's doing. Yeah, that's feeling pretty cool. I'm not loving the kick totally, but I think what I don't like about it is just that it feels a little like flubby. So I'm just gonna throw in a compressor and I think it'll like tighten it up into a way that I want. Yeah, compressing that pretty hard and it kind of tightened it up. That honestly feels like a vague enough foundation to where like, even if I went into a right with that, I would feel like, okay. Just for fun, let's just like throw down some chords really quick. And earlier I mentioned B flat, but these are actually, these pedal steels are in E. I'm just gonna see what those sound like in B flat, but we might come back to E if they sound lame. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 semitones down. Let's render that and just see if it's a vibe or not. It's kind of cool, but I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna try 6 up, because 6 semitones is like right at that weird middle ground where it's like as far away from the root note as it could be. Yeah, I don't like either of those. So we're just gonna go back to E, and that's gonna be okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna throw down like some fun keys and bass layers, and then that'll kind of be it. So let's pull in just a real quick bass sound. And I feel like just kind of like a long tone, like grungy synth bass would be cool for this. It's almost feeling like kind of like Half Alive vibes right now, which I'm not mad at. It wasn't what I meant to do, but it's cool. All right, since we're in E, yeah. Yeah, so now that we kind of have that vague like pad layer with the pedal steels, I might just kind of loop this for a minute, and the first progression that feels cool is probably what I'll throw in. So yeah, let's just loop this around and see what happens. All right, this pedal steel guy, it says these are in E, but they're actually in B. So that's funny. So it's actually pretty close to the B flat, which is where I want it to be anyways. All right, so let's loop this and just kind of see what happens. Yeah, so I'm liking that B to C sharp to E, the 1, 2, 4. So let's do that with maybe some like fun little movements in between. See what happens. Yeah, so that feels cool. That feels like maybe chorus vibe to me. So what I'm gonna do, just for time's sake, is treat that as a chorus and then just kind of dumb down what it's doing, and that'll be like my verse layer. So let's get all that buttoned up really quick, and then we'll give it a listen through. Yeah, so I think for like this verse vibe, well, all I'm gonna do is just skip the 2, and I'm just gonna go 1, 4, and that'll just be like the biggest, vaguest, you know, verse vibe that would be fun to write over. So let's do that real quick. Sweet. All right, and then the literal last thing I want to do is throw in just a little keys layer to add like some sort of chordal structure other than the bass. So I'm going to duplicate this channel, Go find a little keys layer. Shout out to my boy Kendall who gave me all these presets. They're so dope and I use them too much. All right, so same idea. I'm just gonna like loop this and kind of see what feels best to throw in. Yeah, that feels pretty fun. So I'm just gonna throw that over this little chorus loop and then see if the verse even needs like a second layer. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Hey, the first half was good though, so we'll just use that. Cool. Yeah, that feels really sweet. I do think I want to just add one more thing to the verse and then we're going to call it. Call this verse layer. I just want some kind of chords. All right, so we got just a 1 to 4 in the verse and then a 1, 2, 4 in the chorus. So let's try to not screw it up. They're going to be here in 2 minutes, hypothetically. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Chorus, here we go. Guys, I think we call that a freaking song start. Well, that was a lot of fun and I might actually use that for an unhypothetical situation because I think it's a vibe. Yeah, I thought this could be like fun to share for just like a couple reasons. I think first off, I know I like harp on this channel. I think so much good can come out of just like gut instincts and like not overthinking, you know, the ideas, and it's like, that's cool, follow your gut, throw it in there. For me, more on like the business side, when people leave, I want them to just have like a fun, creative, easy time. And hopefully like in the long run, that means like, oh, Logan, every time I'm there, it's like a good time and we like end up with something cool. And so I like taking the preemptive time to just like, at least show up with something. I always like to show up, if it's not with a music start, like if I'm going to do a write just like at someone else's place or something, I'll try to come with a lyrical theme or like an idea of a hook or something. Yeah, I just truly love collaboration so much. And so anything that I can add to that experience by, you know, just doing a little preemptive work, spending a half hour on something is usually like not that big of an ask. Yeah, but the handful of you guys that have asked, you know, how I actually get something started, I hope this was helpful and fun to see. If you want to see something like this again, let me know in the comments or anything specific that you want me to maybe do a video on. I like love doing video ideas from comments and stuff like that. And just a quick little plug, I'll link my website and stuff in the description. I've got a drum sample pack and I do a ton of mixing remote as well as production remote or local as well. And I just have a blast meeting people and making music with new people. I also do an apprenticeship where you can hang out with me for a week in the studio. So if you have any interest in connecting on any of those things, yeah, just shoot me a message on the website. I would love to link up with any and all of you that are interested. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.